the chat, and we'll get started.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. Just want to say congratulations. Just tell the story from the day you arrived on campus to right now. What's that feeling been like, wanting to be a pro and now to finally be, on your way right now?
I mean, it's just a feeling of excitement. I mean, it's a blessing to be here. So, I mean, everything I've been through here, trials and tribulations, things of that nature. And just today was a blessing.
Got it. And if you could go back to your younger self or someone who was, middle school athlete playing football, what would you tell them to help them along the way? You talked about the trials and tribulations. What could you advise them as it relates to getting through those trials and tribulations?
Just stay on the path. It's going to be bumps and bruises, all type of things. Just stay on the path.
All right. Thank you, man. Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Shakur, here's Matheus from Time Out Brazil. Congratulations for going for the NFL draft. A lot of scouts talk about your versatility on the secondary, that you can play corner, can play slot, can do a lot of things. How do you think there's going to be a smooth transition for you in the NFL? Like, what spot do you see yourself better, like in the first year, or for understanding better the game?
I mean, honestly, I don't have a preference. I don't lose anything playing inside or outside.
And how do you think that the pro day can help your players, like, because you don't have the combine and all of 2020 season was totally different? How do you think that the pro day can help your in this process of the draft?
Just show what type of player I am, show what type of work ethic I have, and intensity I bring, my persona.
Thank you. Good luck.
We'll go back to the chat now, and it looks like we're up to Matt Wenzel with them live. Matt?
Hey, Shakur, your first 2 years here, you had Justin Lane leave early as a pro. You had Josiah go. You saw guys that pretty much came in a similar situation, do the same thing. How much did you learn from them in kind of taking the same step?
Them guys kind of paved the way for me, especially Josiah is my old roommate. So we used to talk a lot, he helped me with the plays, and Justin was like my big brother when I came on campus. So he helped me a lot through the path too.
And did you get feedback from the advisory committee before declaring? And if so, I was wondering just if you could share what kind of their view of you was.
Honestly, I didn't even get it back. So I didn't get it back.
Is there anything in particular you were looking to show today for the scouts?
Just my work ethic, what I bring to the table.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Our next question will go to Matt Charbonneau, the Detroit News.
Hey, Shakur, obviously, we saw how you performed on the field, especially last year. When you played that well and you've shown out on film, do you actually get a little bit nervous in these sort of pro day settings where, it's a little bit different, where it's just times and stopwatches and all that? Is it different, or how much different is it?
No, I'm to the point where pressure is all in your mind, so.
Did you train specifically for I know there's no combine, but a lot of the same sort of drills. Did you do specific training for this as opposed to just what you would normally do?
No, it was the same process.
All right. Thanks, man.
Our next question will go to Chris Solar, the Detroit Free Press.
Shaq, kind of wondered if you could walk us through the decision process. When did you kind of decide, okay, this is my path, I'm going to leave the eligibility on the table, and what have you done since? Did you go elsewhere? Where did you go to train, and who have you been working with?
Well, I wasn't thinking about leaving until the second from last game in the season, because, I was just focused on the season. And when it came to the point, I made the decision, talked it over with my dad and coaches. And then after that, I went to Exos in Pensacola, Florida, Then I went to Bomberitos in Miami.
With making that decision, I guess what went into it in your mind? Because obviously you have a year left, or maybe two, that with the COVID situation. What made this the time for you?
I felt like I was physically, mentally, and emotionally ready.
Our next question will go to Alan Sanders.
Yeah, just talking about your relationship with Justin Lane, I wondered if you've talked to the Steelers at all in this process.
Yes, I have.
What was that like? And in general, what have you been hearing from the NFL teams that you've talked to?
I mean, it was a good conversation. I mean, I've talked to pretty much everybody, and it's all good things.
Anything specific that you feel like you wanted to show today or you wanted to accomplish today?
I went out there and gave it all I got, put my best foot forward. So.
Thank you.
We have time for a couple more. We'll go to Audrey Dahlgren with WLNS.
Shakur, who did you talk to the most when it came to making your decision? And maybe, obviously, a big factor is your own to leave, but who maybe helped you and talked you through most of the process and what it would be like to leave and kind of not hold your hand, but you know what I mean? Who helped you the most in that aspect?
I would say my father.
Was there anything specifically that he mentioned to you that stuck out?
Just, weigh all the options.
Okay, thanks.
Our last question will go to Rico Cooney with Spartan Magazine.
Hey, Shakur, congratulations on your day. Hey, can you talk about if you had a little better vibe from one or more teams? And also, do you have any visits set up for any kind of, interviews or training?
We're not doing the visits this year because of the COVID situation. But I mean, I got the same vibe from everybody, everybody, it's a lot of good dudes in the business, so it's all good.
So just quick follow-up. So would you be doing like maybe a second Zoom meeting with teams?
I mean, through the process, yeah, we'll be doing more Zoom meetings and talking to them. Yeah.
Sounds good. Thank you, Shakur, for your time. Really appreciate it. Congrats on a great pro day. And we'll have, I think, Antjuan Simmons or Naquan Jones up next. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Shakur. Good luck.
Next up, we're joined by defensive tackle Naquan Jones. Naquan was invited to the NFL Scouting Combine, had a chance to work out in front of the NFL teams. Naquan, if you want to unmute real quick on the computer and we'll get started here.
Yep.
There we go. Sounds good. Well, we'll start with Chris Solar from the Detroit Free Press.
Hey, Naquan. Congratulations on getting the invite to the Combine. I guess, in your journey to getting to the NFL, what does that ultimately mean? And at this point, for you, what have you heard from teams about your future and what they like and what maybe things they want you to work on?
Thank you so much for it. I mean, I've dreamt of this forever, actually, from when I started playing football. And, it's just one step closer. I set some goals for myself for this draft process, and I was able to, meet many of them, and I'm still working towards meeting the rest of them. I pretty much heard the same, similar consensus from teams like, just get your weight down, get your conditioning up, and, just stay as consistent as you can. And I I was able to reach my goal weight. I look pretty good today. I think so, going through the position drills and, going through the drills and, obviously, those times and, the feedback will reflect, but from pretty much from teams, I've been hearing that, I have the potential and I have the, the play level to compete at the next level. So I just continue to do what I, need to do.
Is it for you as a guy who would have come back for a 6th year? I mean, was there ever any thought of entertaining that, or did you kind of know going into this year that, yeah, this will be my last?
I mean, yeah, it was a tough decision to make, but again, I handled some things in college that, I felt like I was ready to take that step. I got my degree. I've been here for 5 years now, and, I felt like it was time for me to make that step, and I think I made the best decision.
Next question will go to Matt Charbonneau, the Detroit News.
Hey, Quan, you had some teammates like Raquan and Mike, right, that you played a lot with that just went through all this a year ago. And did you lean on those guys or talk to those guys about what this experience was going to be like and kind of preparing yourself for it?
Yeah, absolutely. We, we speak a lot all the time. Actually, we're in a group chat, but I leaned on Kenny very heavily, Kenny Willikis, and he just told me to stay the process. Even if you don't run the best time or bench, just it's basically your ability, and you do what you can do. Just leave here with no regrets, and that's exactly what I did today. I did exactly, I did all I could do today, and I feel glad that I was able to come here and compete.
I assume then that you'll continue to talk to those guys about the next steps from here and, dealing with the draft and all that stuff too, as well, I'd imagine, right?
Oh yeah, of course. Those are some of my best friends, even off the field. So we're gonna, they're gonna be in my corner forever. Those are like my brothers. So we're gonna have that relationship forever.
Thanks, man.
Our next question will go to Lindsey Huddleston.
Naquan, congratulations on your pro day. Congratulations on getting your degree too. I know that's very important to you and your family. You've played in big games all your life. Can you compare the big games to your actual pro day, anxiety, pressure, or just compare the two, or is there no comparison when it comes to a pro day?
Yeah, I actually was just asked this question the other day. Thank you. I never really get nervous before games, just because I feel like I've prepared myself, throughout the week. And then, it's football at the end of the day. I've been playing football since I was 5 years old. So I don't feed into like the crowd or who we're playing against. I never have nerves going into a game, but today I was a little nervous coming in here today, waking up this morning. And I felt that because just like, even with all the preparation I'm doing, you don't really know. It's uncertain what you're going to bench, what you're going to run. And, just the nerves built up a little bit, but I was able to push that to the side. And, by the time I got to position drills, it was just football again. So I was just having fun with it.
Great. And a quick follow-up, I'll pose this to your teammate, Shaq. Going to your younger self, even though people say, hey, man, you got a big body, you may go to the NFL. What advice would you give your younger self then, or any other young person who has NFL hopes at an early age?
I hear this all the time, and it's kind of cliche, but it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And, results aren't going to come overnight. It's something that you have to work towards. I would ask my trainer every day, like I would lose a pound or two, and I'm like, damn, when am I going to, sorry, excuse my language, but when am I going to get to my goal weight? And I noticed that you just have to continuously keep doing the right things. And it paid off. I haven't weighed 313, I don't think, since high school. And that's the lowest weight I've been in a while. And I set my mind to that, and, it's all there, it's all there for the taking. So if you just set your mind to it, everything is obtainable.
Excellent. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Our next question is from Matt Wenzel with MLive.
Hey, Naquan, you and Shaq both got the combine invites officially, and obviously there just wasn't a combine this year. Was it kind of, I guess, what was it like to get that, which is obviously something everybody who wants to play in the NFL would like, but it's kind of a little bit hollow since you didn't get to go to Indy.
I'm still grateful for the invite. There's a lot of guys that weren't invited, and I can put that at that credential that I was there, that I was able to compete with the best players in college football. So that's obviously a confidence booster. It was still, without going to Indianapolis, we still had to go through that process. So it all the things, everything happened in the order that it was supposed to, but it took away a little bit, but at the end of the day, you were still participating in those things. So like I said, I'm very grateful and thankful that I got the invite to the combine.
And can you kind of walk us through what you've been up to since season ended to now preparing for pro day? I know I saw you in the Hula Bowl pick up a sack, and you kind of just recap that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was training at Mamba Sports Academy in California, Thousand Oaks, California, and they did a great job helping me get my weight down, helping me get in shape, prepping me for the game in Hawaii, the Hula Bowl, and I felt overly prepared for that game. I felt like I hadn't even, taken any time off from the season. Just stepping back on the field, it was a great feeling, and I felt like it was just another game, another Saturday, and it was great, honestly. Being in Hawaii, like I said, I did a lot of self-reflecting, and I would just sit on the balcony, and I thought like, wow, this is amazing. The game of football has taken me to Hawaii. I never thought, I would be in Hawaii, and it was great. So from there, I went back to California, trained a little bit more, and then I got to Chicago actually 2 weeks ago. So I picked up training right there. I've tried to keep it pretty consistent, and stay on a schedule so I can just, do everything I need to do to be ready for this day and moving forward.
That's neat. Thanks, Naquan. Congrats and good luck.
Thank you.
Our next question is from Matthias Ornelas from Timeout Brazil.
Naquan, Matheus Anales from Timeout Brazil. Congratulations for going for the NFL draft.
Thank you.
You already talked about like all the training, the hard work that Michigan State have. How do you think that play on the Big Ten and the college? How do you think that prepares you players for the NFL? Playing a conference that's so strong, have so many great guys for the next level, so many great teams that every year are like there. How is for you like working on this kind of conference?
Playing in the Big Ten is, I would consider it the best conference in college football, and it's tough. You're not going to play against a team that you're just going to dominate. Everybody's going to compete every week. So, you have to bring it every week. And I feel like that shows you, exactly where your skill is and where, your style of play is. Like I said, you're going to be playing against Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State every year. So, the level of competition is there. And you go out there and have a big game or you compete against those guys. Ohio State just came from the national championship. And, that was a pretty big indicator for me, actually, to determine what I was going to do in my future. And I had a pretty good game against Ohio State. And, those are, just games like that really stand out because you want to see where you're at on a scale of competition, and like I said, in the Big Ten, everybody's going to bring it. So, it's definitely a confidence thing. It's a confidence builder. And it's, you just see where you're at going on to the next level. Because a lot of those guys on a lot of those teams are going to, also be joining you or, competing to go to that next level.
Thank you. Good luck during the process.
Thank you.
Our next question is from Audrey Dahlgren with WLNS.
Hi, Naquan. You had mentioned that you had set some goals for yourself going into this draft. I'm assuming dropping weight was one of those goals. What else were the goals, if you could, tell us about it?
Obviously, I wanted to get to 315. That was my main goal that I set leaving school. And I was able to get to that weight in at 313 today. So I'm very excited for that. I just wanted to, show teams because like I said, I've had a pretty general consensus. Teams wanted to see, my condition improve, my conditioning. And that, I even heard that from after the Hula Bowl. And that's something that I really worked hard on. And I knew they were going to push me today through the position drills. I was the only one out there by myself. So I knew that I had to work. They obviously, I got a little tired sometimes, but that's, that comes with playing football. And I was able to push through and I was able to do everything I needed to do. So those just minor, like little things I thought about through the process, like just keep pushing yourself, like at the end of the day, you have an end goal and that's to, make someone's team and, hear my name called on draft day. So that, those are still goals that I need to, accomplish, complete. But as far as going forward, I just wanted to push myself to see, how good I could become during this time.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Our next question is from Kevin Fishbane with The Athletic.
Hey, Naquan, I'm wondering your Evanston ties as you reach this point in your career. What is that, growing up there, playing there, what does that kind of mean to you at this juncture?
It means everything. My grandmother tells me all the time that I'm such a huge role model to the young kids in the community. And I'm not, like I said, I hold myself to a pretty high standard. And I'm never satisfied with what I do. And I mean, I will tell that to any young kid growing up out of Evanston, just don't get complacent. It's all there for you for the taking, but it all can be taken away from you. And I just want to continue to keep representing my hometown. There's a lot of nonsense that happens there. And, it's a very good town, but there's also a lot of negativity that happens there. So I just want to be the light for the community. I want people to understand that what I'm doing is bigger than me. I want to be a light for the community, like I said, and I just want to be someone that, those younger kids can look up to.
Our next question is from Rico Cooney with Spartan Magazine.
Hey, Naquan, congratulations on the process today.
Thank you.
Can you talk a little bit about the drills and maybe something that you felt that you did really well and maybe something, you're like, maybe not so much, but just kind of talk about that process and what you were able to show in the drills.
Yeah, I was able to show, a lot more explosion. I was able to, show off my quickness. Obviously, with dropping 20 pounds, I felt a lot quicker. I felt a lot better just moving. It felt better on my body. And, that's what coach has been trying to get me to do while I was at Michigan State. It took me, to leave here to, get that to happen. But it felt amazing today. One thing I probably could have picked up on is just my 40. I was struggling with that through this process, just, trying to get the running technique down because I was running a certain way, which I thought was correct. And, it was actually slowing me down a little bit. So I had to basically change my entire running mechanic and, be an Olympic sprinter. That's what my trainer was telling me, like, don't be a football player right now, be a sprinter. So it was just a lot of technique stuff that I needed to learn, and I was able to get it down, but, I'm just still in the process of learning how to properly run like a sprinter instead of, a football player.
And as a quick follow-up, did you get a good vibe from one or more teams, or was it pretty much universal?
Yeah, I've been in communication with teams pretty much almost every day, and a lot of those teams are here today. So my agent going into this, he told me that teams are going to be looking what you do, looking for what you do in a position drill. So I think I was able to give a good representation, and I think for the most part they like what they saw.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Our final question from Naquan comes from Mookie Hawkins from the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, you're on mute.
You forgetting that, man. Naquan Jones, Mookie Hawkins, Buffalo Sports Cincinnati, Buffalo. How's it going, big guy?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm great, man. Now, how have your time at Michigan State and playing Big Ten ball prepared you for this moment? And did the Bills be in contact with
you? Michigan State has done a great job. Like I said, I've been here for 5 years, and every year they, I feel like I've taken away something from every year. I came in here into Michigan State. I was immature. I had to do a lot of soul searching. I've experienced some adversity while I was here, and I had to mature and grow up and become a man because, as you step into that leadership role and as you get older, you have younger guys that look up to you. And I learned you can't always be the funny guy. You can't, not everybody's going to like you. You just got to do what you need to do to be a winner and help your team win and, get the job done. As far as, Coach Burden and, my D-line coach, Coach Burden, he pushed me every day. And, he was another advocate to get me to lose weight. And I was so defiant. Like I said, I needed to become more disciplined. And that's why, I love him to death because he was that father figure that I needed throughout college, especially with the adversity that I went through. And I have not been in that much communication with the Bills, actually. It's probably one of the few teams that I really haven't heard from too much. So.
Oh, wow. Hey, wish you the best with this process, man, and good luck on draft day.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Looks like that's all the questions we have for you, Naquan. Really appreciate you joining us today. Best of luck getting ready for the NFL draft.
Sir, thank you.
Thanks, Naquan.
All right, next up, we're going to have Brian Lewerke join us for a few minutes, and we'll have Antjuan Simmons. Brian was one of the few seniors from the 2019 team that was able to work out today, including a few others. So we'll have Brian join us here shortly. All right, Brian, if you want to unmute the computer there, and we'll get started here in a couple minutes. We're joined now by quarterback Brian Lewerke. Brian worked out for NFL Scouts today at Michigan State's Pro Day. We'll start with some questions, and we'll first go to Chris Solara, the Detroit Free Press. Chris.
Hey, Brian, good to see you. It's been obviously a weird year. We should have been doing this a year ago in the weave, but what have you done in the last year? Obviously, you lasted on with the Patriots for a while. What has been the way that you've tried to keep your mind and body in football shape when you haven't really had it?
Yeah, after I was cut by the Pats back in September, I had a few tryouts with some teams, and just kind of been throwing with my coach down in Arizona, making sure I'm working out, staying in shape for whenever I need a call, or whenever a team calls me. Like I was down in Florida one time, and I got a call from my agent that the Colts wanted to come try me out, so I had to go fly out from there. So you just kind of got to be ready at all times.
How did this all come about? Can you kind of let us know, like, when did Coach Tucker? Yeah, when did Coach Tucker and everybody reach out, say, do you want to come back and do this?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of popped in my head that they would probably invite us back, back in January. And we got a text from Scott about, a month and a half ago, just asking that if anyone wanted to come back that didn't get to do their pro day last year, they can come do it. So I definitely hopped on that as soon as I could.
Next question is from Matheus Ornelas from Timeout Brazil.
Brian, Mateus from Timeout Brazil. Congratulations for not having your pro day now. Like, even it's late, but it's a great chance for you guys for show for the NFL a little more. How you have a full career in Michigan State in the college level, and you have all the 2020 problems of the COVID. And how do you think that the COVID was a big problem from you guys? What do you learn with all that happened last year? And how do you think that's your real chances for the NFL this year?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely didn't help anything at all, having preseason canceled. And, for guys like me that go undrafted, preseason is really big for us, just to be able to try and show what we can do in game situations. So not having that was, definitely sucked. And then just having the whole protocol for teams having to, keep you for a week before you can do a tryout, make sure you got a quarantine before a tryout. It made it a little less attractive for teams to bring guys in for tryouts. But, you got to be ready at all times, like I said, and just, have a positive attitude about it whenever you can.
Thank you. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Our next question is from Stephen Brooks with 24/7 Sports.
Hey, Brian. Hope you're doing well, man.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you. I wanted to, you sort of just touched on it. Just when you look back, how frustrating was last year? Like, you spend so much of your life building up to try to go to the NFL. Your time comes, and then so much was out of your control. Like, you talk about pro day, smaller rosters, preseason, and it's like it was no fault of your own. Just the timing of the world sort of screwed up your natural shot with how you were coming along. I mean, how'd you sort of come to grips with that? I guess just the frustration, but also knowing like you had no real control of it, like I said.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to get. I mean, I obviously was upset and frustrated about it, but at a point, there's nothing you can do about it. So there's really no point in getting mad because it's just gonna, eat at you. So you just got to move on a little bit, and that's kind of what I did. I had my shot with the team and didn't get all the opportunities that I wanted with that team, but I'm trying to, hopefully make an impression on someone. Hopefully I did today, and they can bring me in.
And like you said, with that experience you got last year, just what'd you learn from that you think will help you this second time around?
Just being, knowing what NFL teams expect and being in the building with them and seeing how much of a business it is. you got to be on your toes at all time, make sure you're prepared for everything that, a coach can throw at you. And I think I've definitely learned that a bunch, being with them for the time that I was.
And then one more, if I could, really quick, just from your agent and teams, what has sort of been the dialogue throughout, these past couple of weeks, or really the last year? Were you getting sort of feedback of like, hey man, stay in this and you might get a real shot next year? Or was it kind of like, it's up to you and we'll see? And I mean, what was sort of that feedback from the NFL or your agent or whoever?
Yeah. I had 3 tryouts in the span of, 5 months or whatever it was after, I was released by the Patriots. So, just being, my agent was telling me to keep up with stuff. Like I said, it can happen at any time. A team can call. So I just had to be ready for whatever, whenever a team called me up.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yep. No problem.
Our next question is from Matt Wenzel with M Live.
Hey, Brian, I was wondering when did you get back in town? To East Lansing or Lansing?
Monday afternoon.
When was the last time you'd been here before Monday?
About almost exactly a year ago.
Okay.
I flew up to Michigan, and then like 2 days later last year, they canceled it because of COVID. So,
how weird is it being back in the building today with all that's changed in a year? Mark leaves, you got a new staff, you don't get a pro day, and you've been through the NFL experience a little bit, and now you're kind of trying to get that second shot and doing it, a year later.
Yeah, I mean, it was good to meet everyone that I've seen on TV and Twitter and Instagram for the past year, and not been able to meet. Definitely would have been up for a game if this was a real year last year. I would have met everyone, but it was great for them to bring us back. And it was great for to meet all the coaching staff. I talked with Coach Tucker and the offensive coordinator a little bit, so it was great to meet them, and I'm definitely thankful for that opportunity.
And you touched a little bit on what you learned in the NFL in your experience. Is there anything you're looking to show today that is just a little bit different from last year?
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I ran a horrible 40-yard dash at the combine last year, so I wanted to show that I still got the speed, and I think I did that pretty well. And you just show off my arm strength. I think my arm has definitely gotten stronger, and I'm able to throw the ball downfield a little better than what I could do in college.
Thanks, Brian. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Our next question is from Rico Cooney with Spartan Magazine.
Hey, Brian, welcome back here. Talk a little bit about a phrase that you learned to live by in college, and maybe how it took on a little different meaning with COVID and everything, about best ability is availability. Talk about how that's a different kind of meaning for you now.
Yeah, just, when you were not on a team, or even when you were, you had to make sure that you were staying away from any situations that could get you COVID. And that's what I had to do when I was with the Pats. And even throughout this past 6 months, is just trying to stay away from places where I could get it, because, a team can call you up, and if you got it, then obviously you can't do a tryout, can't compete for a spot on the team. So I've been doing whatever I can, staying in shape and all that, to be available for whenever a team calls.
Just as a quick follow-up to that, how difficult was that for you to maybe, want to do something or want to go somewhere, and then have to catch yourself and go, nope, staying in the house, watching some Netflix?
Yeah, it's definitely not fun, with all, friends that maybe aren't playing football that can kind of do whatever they want. It definitely took a little bit of self-discipline, but I think I did a good job. Never had it, so I've done my part.
Okay, thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Our final question for Brian will go back to Chris Solari.
That actually brought up another question. Have you got vaccinated yet? And what have you heard from the NFL about things that they're saying with when to get vaccinated for prospects and everything that goes on? Are they giving you guys advice on that?
No, I mean, I have not been vaccinated, and I have not heard anything from teams as far as, requirements for it. So I really have no clue.
Do you feel like that will make a difference maybe for guys like you who are testing the free agent market and do come in for tryouts to have that?
Yeah, I mean, it'll give teams more confidence that to bring you in, and you're not going to, screw up their entire program in a matter of a few days. So I think it would definitely help. Yeah.
Brian, thank you so much for joining us. Congrats on a great pro day, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
All right, next up, we'll be joined by linebacker Antjuan Simmons. At the end, unfortunately, Coach Tucker is in a meeting right now. I don't know if I'll be able to get him on or not. I know he talked yesterday for a little bit, but I will get Scott Aligo, our Director of Player Personnel, on at the end. I think I can make that work. He organized Pro Day. I know Darian Harris was talking about him a couple weeks ago, but he'll be a good person to talk to about the behind-the-scenes aspect of Pro Day. So next up, we have linebacker Antjuan Simmons. Antjuan, if you want to unmute the computer, and we'll get started here.
All right, there we go.
There we go. All right, well, Antjuan, it's great to see you. I know that you've been working hard for Pro Day, and we'll have some questions for you here in a little bit as we get going.
Okay, all right.
Looks like we'll start with Matt Wenzel with MLive.
Antjuan, I was wondering what you have been working on the most. Obviously Pro Day is a kind of a unique situation, but what have you been looking to show, and how do you think you performed today?
Pretty much just working on everything, really. It wasn't one thing where we had focused on, but we wanted to make sure everything was as good as it possibly could be when the day came. And I felt good. I definitely felt like I put everything out there. I went as hard as I possibly can. So I can definitely live with the results.
What have you been hearing from teams as far as what they like in you and what they want to see you improve at or show something at?
Really just like my game film, the way that I play, how hard I'm going, way I go sideline to sideline, tackling, just all those things really. But really like probably I feel my biggest thing to work on was really just block shedding, getting rid of guys, and being able to come off and make more plays.
Thanks, Antjuan. Congrats and good luck.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Our next question will go to Lindsey Huddleston.
Antjuan, congrats on your Pro Day. The past seasons watching you, particularly after the games, after your great play, passion has been a word to describe you. Did you tap into that same passion today for Pro Day, or was there a different emotion or a different feeling, if you follow what I'm going on?
Oh yeah, definitely. I try to be a whole nother dude whenever I'm in that atmosphere, whenever I gotta step on the field or do anything within football. I take the glasses off, put my contacts on, and it's time to go from that point on.
One question I've been posing to your teammates as well is going back to high school days, even Pop, what advice would you give yourself for another athlete that has the same dreams and ambitions that you have right now?
Just keep working hard. Don't get too high, don't get too low on yourself, and just stay at it. You're gonna have ups and downs. You're gonna have points where you feel like you're at rock bottom, but if you can stay in the fight, you'll come out on top.
Sound like some good advice for life too. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you.
The next question is from Chris Solari.
Hey, Antjuan, good to see you again. Wondered, just how much have you been hearing about what that transition to the 4-2-5 maybe did in terms of helping your profile, getting and also getting to play in multiple systems? I mean, does that help a guy at this point when teams are looking and talking to you to have a knowledge base on a bunch of different schemes?
Oh yeah, definitely. I definitely feel like playing in the new system this past year was tremendous for a guy like myself. First 3 years I played outside the box in that hybrid position, being over the number 2, number 3 wide receivers, being out in space a lot. But, then this past year playing in the box, like 95% of the time, being able to shock guys, run inside out on the ball, it really just showed that I was more than capable of playing inside the box. I feel like I wasn't able to show that in previous years, but definitely feel like I was able to do that and show, my instincts. You can see more of my instincts, my football IQ and stuff. How quick you can see how quick I was, just everything like that.
And for you, how was it seeing some of those guys that you haven't seen in a year? I mean, Lewerke said he hadn't been back in a year. I'd imagine guys like Josh and some Tyreek hadn't been back in quite some time. I mean, what was that like?
It was awesome, just being back with the guys, seeing them catching up, you know, and just talking about how everything's been going with each other. You know, it was awesome. You know, it was awesome getting, you know, just being able to see everybody, my former teammates, the coaches, you know, just everything. You know, definitely felt the love, felt there's a lot of support out there, and you know, I'm just excited. I was happy with everything.
Next question is from Rico Cooney with Spartan Magazine.
Hey, Antjuan, congratulations on the process today. Can you
Thank
a little bit about how you know, during the interviews, teams ask you, hey, what kind of guy are we getting? What kind of linebacker are we getting? What was your answer?
You're definitely gonna get a hardworking guy, positive attitude, a leader. I'm gonna show up, do everything right, do whatever's needed for to better the team. You know, whatever it takes. You know, I'm gonna get the job done, and you're gonna get a heck of a football player. You know, I'm gonna give it 110 in practice. I'm gonna give it 110 on game days. You know, that's just the type of guy I am. I want to be the best. I want to win. You know what I mean? So that's the attitude I'm trying to bring.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Our next question is from Matthias Ornelas from Time Out Brazil.
Antjuan, Matheus from Time Out Brazil. Congratulations for going for the NFL draft.
Thank you for hopping on with us all the way from Brazil.
Thank you. It's been really cool doing that. In 2019, you have a season with almost 100 total tackles and showed that you can chase the ball, chase the players. And in 2020, you have all those problems, the COVID, you play less games, only 7 games. How do you think that the previous seasons before the COVID can help you players like for going for the NFL and help on the talk with the scouts and the coaches?
Are you asking how did COVID affect everything?
No, how do you think that the 2019 season that you have help you on this NFL process? Because in 2020 was a so different year, like with less games and more problems for the players.
Oh, definitely. You know, I feel like 2019 helped me a lot. You know, I actually played in that hybrid spot for about 8 games, 9 games, and then I actually had the ability to play middle linebacker the past like 3 or 4 games. You know, so you know, I had the opportunity to be all over the field and had the ability to make plays. You know, showcase a different skill set. You know, so I definitely feel like 2019 helped me a lot, and also it helped me grow. You know, as an individual, as a football player, as a leader, because you know, we ended up losing a few guys, you know, throughout the season, and it kind of and I kind of had to step up and be more of a leader, be more vocal, you know, and just be you know, just have a bigger impact, you know, on the team.
And just a quick follow up, what do you have hearing from the NFL that you might have to improve? Like have some coaches or any kind of people in the NFL talking to you about what you have to improve for the next level?
Nothing specifically. I really no scouts or teams have told me anything that I gotta improve on. But you know, like I said earlier, one thing that I feel I can improve on is definitely, you know, block shedding. You know, being able to make plays off linemen and blockers, and you know, being at the top of drops and having more crisp breaks.
Thank you, and good luck during the process.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Our next question is from Audrey Dahlgren with WLNS.
Hey, Antjuan, first of all, did you cut your hair?
No, I didn't. No, I just braided it.
Okay,
I just got it
gotcha.
braided up.
All right, just curious. I didn't know if you'd try to save some time on your 40, but anyway, how was it today, just in general? You know, because we weren't able to be there, and usually this is an event that's open to us, so we can get a feel for the atmosphere and kind of just what's going on. So, what was it like overall? Just if you could paint a picture for us today.
It was awesome. You know, when we came out, it was a whole bunch of scouts out there, a whole bunch of teams. The strength staffs out there, like pretty much most of the coaches were out there. Dang, the whole team came out. You know, it was just a great atmosphere. Like I said, you definitely felt the love. You felt all the support in the indoor weave. But it was awesome. I couldn't have asked for a better atmosphere to be in, a better environment to be able to go out and perform at my highest ability.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next question is from Ryan with the Only Colors.
Hey, Antjuan.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
I was just curious, when the NFL Combine list came out, it was surprising not to see your name on there after a highly productive college career. I was just curious, did you take that as a slight or like a chip on your shoulder or anything like that?
Yeah, of course. After my last 2 seasons, I definitely felt like I felt like I was one of the best out there. But they pick the guys. I'm not in charge of anything. My job is just to show up and perform. So I can't complain or get too down about it. But it definitely gave me a little extra motivation. Definitely show I just got to keep working. Like I said, just stay in the fight. Keep doing what I do.
Absolutely. Good luck with everything.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Looks like that's all the questions we have. Antjuan, congrats on a great Bro Day and good luck on the upcoming NFL draft.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys. Do I need to mute this?
Thanks, man. We'll see it.
Yeah, if you
All
can
right,
mute
see
it,
you
that'd be
guys.
great. Thank you.
All right.